Hey, welcome everybody to another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.
Here on the Top 10 Show, or from the Top 10 Show. I am John Roca.
I am Matt Nost. This is a show that our patrons just send in whatever they want us to talk about to an email address that's over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And we answer it, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it may be.
I don't think there's a single question that we've ever not answered. So
Right. Unless it's a repeat question or something, we usually answer it for sure.
Yeah. We have no idea what this is going to be about. It's a discovery for you as it is us.
Absolutely.
And I think it's my turn to start this time.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so our first one comes from Ben Cartwright and says, "Hi, John and Matt. A quick question on the Snowpiercer TV series. I don't believe you discussed it at any point, so I was wondering if you had watched it and what you thought. I personally did enjoy the series with some good acting. There's certainly more to explore with it in the second series due January, although I think it was a bit slow to get going and so may have put people off. I can't freaking read all of a sudden. Stay safe, Ben Cartwright." So did you watch the Snowpiercer TV series?
No, I did not, because there were so many reviews that came out and kind of bashed the first few episodes of the show, and they said it eventually found its footing, but still didn't quite get to the awesome or good or exciting level for me. So I didn't watch it. And because there's so much to watch, Matt, there's so many television shows coming out all the time on multiple channels or streaming services, that if the critics come in and they say, "Now this was not worth your time," unless I have some sort of personal connection or desire to see it, I usually don't waste my time watching it. So, but I have heard some people who did enjoy it and say that after the first few episodes, it really kind of kicks in, but it hasn't motivated me to watch it.
I remember seeing the trailers and I was like, that doesn't really grab me. I think the movie's great, but I don't know if you need a full seasons long exploration.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, you could hypothetically, but I was waiting. If everybody was like, "You need to watch it," then I would totally watch it.
Right.
But the trailer didn't look good to me, and then didn't hear anything about it. So I just moved on. I have not seen a single second of it.
Yeah. And there's been I saw, actually, consequently, as we're answering this, I actually saw a new a trailer for the second season the other day. It's on IMDb if anybody wants to watch it. And it looks cool. It looks interesting. It looks well shot. It's not a Chris Evans looking guy. It's a completely different person. So from the first season. So maybe if I start to read some really awesome reviews of season 2, then maybe I will go back and power through season 1, which is probably one day, a Saturday, because I think it's only 10 episodes, and then find my way back to season 2. You never know. So.
Yeah, but to bang out an entire 10 episodes in one day, it really needs to be great.
Yeah, true, right? Because then you're just
a lot of
powering
television, and especially if the first 3 hours, you got to get through those before it gets good. Then it needs to be excellent,
right? To kind of keep your attention.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
I mean, there are shows. I think Succession took 6 episodes or four minimum.
Oh, really? For you to get hooked in?
Well, I think that's when it finally. You don't. At least I did initially. I couldn't find why I was supposed to like any of these people. But I had so much trust in. There's a lot of great actors on this. It's from the executive producers. There's so much talent behind this. You assume that they have a voice and a point to this, and ultimately it does bear out. I think it's fantastic. I cannot wait. Until the next season comes out. It just takes time to build.
Yeah.
So if it's it takes 3 to 4 to get into, it's man, it's got to be really good.
Yeah. To make it worth it.
Yeah, to put in 3 to 4 hours, it's still a lot of time.
There's just too much television, man.
I know.
I don't want to sound like Homer Simpson, but there's too much quality television on TV right now.
Although I think it's starting to thin out a little bit.
You do? Okay.
Well, I think at this point, when we started getting all these streaming services, it seemed like every good idea got the first rollout. And now, because there was a much higher percentage rate, at least for me as a viewer,
right? Whereas
now it's much rarer. Or perhaps I'm just willing to give up on shows quicker because there's something new coming down the pipeline.
There is. It's to constantly take you right out of it. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. Absolutely. I'm in the same boat most of the time.
Yeah.
If you don't grab me the first 2 or 3 episodes, I'm out and I don't come back.
But like, are you watching Roadkill? That's interesting.
I finished it. Yeah, we finished it last night. The season finale was last night. It's only 4 episodes. I almost tweeted about it.
Oh, is that it? It's only 4 episodes? Okay, well, then I've seen the season.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's done. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And it wasn't a standard show. Like, there were villains and there were heroes, I guess, but it was more murky than that. And I appreciated it for what it was, and the twists and turns within it were fun to explore. And I thought the acting was stellar. But I do think one of the main actresses, they just shot all her stuff in one day. She's in the same room the whole show. So I think
one?
The prime minister. I think she's in that room the whole time. So
they very well could have.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking.
Yeah, that she's no, she's in like one other room.
When she's on the stairs or something, there was one.
Yeah, she meets the guy that's, was it the ward, the head of, Lockheed Martin or whatever the case is over there.
Right. That guy. Yeah.
But yeah, she is. I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. She's like in basically her office whenever you see her. But
another great performance from Hugh Laurie, who is just
great.
Stellar, man. I mean, this is a guy I watched in Blackadder and Jeeves and Wooster acting a fool. To see such incredible dramatic range from him since House is just it's just been a joy, true joy.
Let me ask you this:
yeah.
Blackadder, all the seasons are different, correct?
Yes.
What's the best season?
I would say the Victorian era season with Miranda Richardson and Stephen Fry and the other guy there. And then the World War I. The World War I is fucking excellent. And it's the series finale that is so heartbreaking and poignant. It's just surprising when it happens. So I would say, 4 and I think it's 2 that is the Victoria. And if it's not, then it's 3. So But the first one's terrible.
Okay.
The second one is funny. You could still do. I think it's the second season with where Hugh Laurie plays like the king, and Blackadder's like his assistant, but Blackadder's constantly like fleecing him for money because he's stupid. But I would say the Victorian era one is the Elizabethan one with like Sir Walter Raleigh and shit. That one is really, really fucking good.
Yeah, we started on season 1, episode 1.
Season 1's terrible, dude.
Dude, shut it off after like 12 minutes. And going into it, I was like, I got so much respect for a bunch of these different performers.
Yep.
So you have to assume, and it's loomed large in the minds of fans of comedy from that era of British comedy. So it's like, okay, I've been looking forward to doing this. We ran out of shit.
Yeah.
Like 12 minutes. It was terrible.
Yeah, season 1 is terrible because he plays essentially like a little pissy bitch. And in 2, 3, and 4, he is essentially the lead, and he's sarcastic, and he can't be he's especially Bugs Bunny. Like, he can't be tricked. He's always tricking other people. He's always getting the best of everyone. But in the first season, I don't know why they played it that way. And look, it's great to have Brian Blessed and see him as his dad and whatever, but he's playing so smarmy that it's like, why do I give a fuck about this guy? That's why I think they completely course corrected in 2, 3, and 4 and made him the central point, and made him way more interesting and charming and smart. So yeah, that's what I would say. 2, 3, and 4 are good. So if you're going to get
World War I stuff, I've seen clips of.
Yeah.
But it's the only series or only one season that I've ever seen clips of that I think of. I mean, that might have seen something else, but like I've seen a bunch of the random stuff from the World War I stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Maybe we'll start with season 4 or something instead.
Yeah. Have a little fun with that for sure. And each one of them are different, so they're not connected. Like, it's not like, this is my grandfather or descent. No, it's not. They're all separate. Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. What is that Steve Buscemi, Daniel Radcliffe show? Medieval Times? No, or
shit. I've never seen that one. I don't know.
It's good. I'd say skip season 1.
Okay.
And I think it's better after season 1.
Is that different than the one where he's God answering letters or whatever?
That's season 1. And then season 2, Steve Buscemi goes from the king to a shit shoveler.
Oh.
And it's medieval times. It's the Dark Ages kind of thing. And
Do you have
that
to
one, I
have
think,
seen the first one?
With
First season to enjoy the second season?
Nope.
Oh, really? Okay. I'll give it a chance.
Yeah. I think we watched like half the first season. We were both like, I'm really bored. And then I looked up the fact that season 2 is completely different. Like, why don't we give it a try? Ended up closing it out. Like it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Once again, quarantine. We've burnt through so much stuff,
Dude, brother. We're on a community rewatch right now. She's never seen the show,
sure.
and we're in season 6. Fuck me, did that show fall off the cliff in 5 and 6? We're just powering through to finish it out. Like we don't even want to.
I didn't like it. So.
Oh, you didn't like it at all?
No.
Never did. Oh,
I didn't understand. Like I got 3 or 4 episodes into season 1. I was like, I don't know. Whereas like as cliched as it is, The Office, I think, is utterly rewatchable.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Parks and Rec has moments, but I'm not a big fan of that either.
Okay.
But yeah, we're on a rewatch of The West Wing.
Oh, nice.
That's
nice,
our filler.
nice. I think finally I can watch that again. I haven't been able to watch it for 4 years. I think you know why. And
we watched it like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So it's been long enough, but it's just filler in between Queen's Gambit, which we finished now.
Oh yeah, was that good?
It's only 7 episodes. I genuinely think they could have cut it down to 5.
Okay, so it's a little bit of filler.
There are some where filler when you're like, I know why they did this, but I don't really think they needed it. But the overall, like the 7th closeout is great.
Okay. What did I want to ask? Oh, have you watched The Crown? We finished Crown season 4 in 2 days.
We're forcing ourselves just to watch one a night.
Wow. Oh, to kind of savor it and move on.
There's just otherwise we'll bang it out in 2 or 3 days, and then we're back to watching West Wing every night. So at least we're trying to get to like the next Bake Off and the next. We both. She stopped on Fargo. I'm going to close the season once it's finished.
Yeah, I haven't gone back to it. I have to find some time to make myself go back to Fargo. But I've watched the first 4 episodes. I like it. It just doesn't grab me the way the other Fargo seasons did. Yeah, and I wanted it to be good because it's Chris Rock. I was like, come on,
Yeah, I think he's good in it.
Yeah. It's more the story that's the issue.
Not a fan. Oh, well, come back with another one. Hopefully the ratings are good enough that it doesn't kill the series.
Yeah.
And,
but this is my problem with my girlfriend, Matt, because she's mad at me because I binge like a motherfucker. And I don't even think about planning for the future. Like I'm always like, well, we'll find something else. But then there are like nights where I'm scanning through shit and she has no interest in half the stuff I'm suggesting. And I don't have interest in what she's suggesting. And so it's like, it becomes that kind of thing. So you might be right. I should maybe slow down. Because we're running, because she won't watch movies. I've tried to get her to watch British movies, but she won't watch those. So it's like, I'll find something else. So
maybe you get her to watch Topsy Turvy. It's British. It's kind of upstairs, downstairs ish, but it's not really. It's period piece. It's musical.
Oh, you know what? I should try to get her to watch Downton Abbey because she has never seen
Downton Abbey.
Yeah, she's never seen it. She resisted it.
How? Why?
Because she thought it was like too cutesy for its own good. And so
Margaret Smith is worth the watch alone.
Absolutely. The Dame Maggie. Hell yeah. But maybe we'll do that. But she hasn't seen the first 2 seasons of The Crown. So that might be fun to rewatch that with her. Yeah.
Wow. She skipped on, especially The Crown. Downton eventually just kind of becomes nighttime soap opera. It's not fully melodramatic soap opera, but it's not.
Right.
The first couple seasons were surprisingly good.
Absolutely. Agreed. 1,000. I even like the movie. The movie's fucking excellent.
It's fine. Yeah. You literally didn't need to have it. It did nothing. They're going to have a dinner.
It's like the Deadwood movie. It was like, it was great for what it was. It was nice to revisit these characters and it was good they didn't fuck it up. So it was enjoyable for that.
Yeah, but Deadwood at least tried to fit, and I'm not saying it was a good tack.
Right.
But tried to fit an entire season's worth of events into one movie. And just set it over the course of like 3 days or whatever it was, where
it's true.
It's the wedding, and then what's his name? Hearst coming back into town, and it's like all these things colliding all at once. I didn't much care for it. I knew why they did it, but it looked like he just took an entire season's worth of ideas and crammed it into 2 hours.
Yeah.
But Downton was like, the fucking king is coming. We got to get this place spotless.
Yeah,
that's the movie.
And you really can't enjoy the movie without having seen the series. It's one of those things where it's like there's so many
There's no fucking way.
things. Yeah, there's so many things that are happening to the characters that
It'd be
you know
dull as shit if you'd never seen the TV show.
you wouldn't have
Just
the
like
context.
Deadwood would probably be as well.
Oh, good point. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe I try to convince her to go to. I haven't finished Breaking Bad. I've only done the first season, and so I've tried to but she said she saw the first couple episodes that didn't grab her, so we might have to power through that.
Breaking Bad is one I think because the tones of seasons 2 throughout are completely different from one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One's more for comedic effect, even though they liquefy a human fucking body.
Yeah,
but they're going for more. It's not as dark as it gets.
right.
I mean, there's a reason Cranston still works, mate. That's one of the best acting performances you're ever going to see.
Yeah. Maybe at
yeah,
some
it's in
point I'll convince her.
It's in my top probably 3.
Wow. All right.
Top 3 or 4, but top 3. I mean, Game of Thrones would have supplanted it, but Game of Thrones last season and a half was so dog shit
Yeah.
that I don't even know where it is on my list anymore.
That last season really did kind of
it's terrible.
Yeah.
It was they're just rushing through. You can tell that it switched from Martin's source material to Martin just told the producers the outline and they just got the fucking outline. There's no depth to it whatsoever.
There really isn't. And the switches, the character switches, you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why would they do that? Why would they do this? Why would they do this?
It seems wildly convenient that they're doing this.
Yeah, right. Plot. It seems. Yeah, exactly.
The fucking one dude who's trying to seduce Cersei in the final season, his ship gets exploded and he washes up onto the beach right when fucking Jaime Lannister happens to be walking past to go into a secret entrance into the. Wow, that's a lot of fucking convenience. That's a lot of coincidence.
I know.
That's lazy as fuck, guys. After you guys have introduced to me to Boromir of the High Mile, fucking son of this, that, and the other, and I give a shit about the guy, and he's only around for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
It's just painful. It's like you could have gone down as the best of all time, and now I don't have the slightest fucking clue where you are.
Yeah. It's a shame.
It is a shame.
Yeah, because I can't even go back and watch it. I have to have a few more years before I could even consider doing a rewatch of Game of Thrones. And I think I would stop after season 7.
Yeah.
I think I would never watch season 8 again. It's like Rise of Skywalker. I'll never watch
Benioff and Weiss, have they officially given up their Star Wars shit?
Yes. Yeah, a while ago. Yeah.
That's what I thought, but then I thought it was rumored to be like, maybe we will bring them back.
No.
Type of thing. It's like
they don't know what they're doing yet, films wise.
I think if somebody came to them a la the first 7 seasons with a hugely complex, how the fuck do we film this Star Wars saga?
Sure.
I think from there they could figure out the ins and outs and the character development. But if the final season and a half is any evidence.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're working on next. I'm trying to yeah, here it is. It came in September. It was announced that they're working on this new project. It's Liu Shixin's, I hope I'm saying the right for anybody who is Chinese, I think, his sci-fi trilogy, The Three-Body Problem, The Dark Forest, and Death's End. This is what they're working on with executive producer Alexander Wu, who did The Terror and True Blood. That's something I didn't see, The Terror on AMC. I heard that was good.
I saw most of season 1. I kind of forgot about it.
Did you? Oh, okay. So it was good, but not enough to drag you back to keep.
I couldn't get her to watch anymore. And then my what I watch at night usually before bed is a movie.
Right.
So that's why Fargo, I'm kind of waiting until it's done. So that way I can bang out 2 or 3 and it's basically a movie length that I'm setting aside for. Whereas episodically, I just don't. I wait until it's basically done so I can take my time, figure out the pace I want to watch it at.
Right. So they're doing this for Netflix. And once again, this is their wheelhouse because there's already source material. So they're going to be able to adapt it. So clearly they're just one of those people or one of these duos that works well when they have source material to adapt from, to give them a blueprint or at least a roadmap of what to do. Whereas the original stuff, if they come up with it themselves, it really doesn't resonate as powerfully as it should. So
I love that title though, The Three-Body Problem.
Yeah. It's supposed to be
excellent.
It's supposed to be an excellent sci-fi.
What are
trilogy,
the other 2 that's based on?
Oh, sorry, hold on. The Dark Forest and Death's End.
Okay, the Dark Forest is the only one I'm like, I don't know what okay, that could be anything.
Also, you might be into.
I like that too. That sounds cool.
You might be into it, Matt, because it's published in China, but it kicks off historically in the book during the country's cultural revolution in the late 19th century.
Oh, really?
And it chronicles. It chronicles humanity's first contact with an alien civilization.
Wow. During what was that? The Boxer Revolution?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. The 1960s. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, is that Mao? Is that Mao or is that Mao?
Yeah, that's Mao. That's Mao Zedong.
Yeah. So that's around the time when that's happening. So
okay.
And these are big sellers apparently globally. So
all right. Well, 2 of the 3 titles I think are pretty jazzy. So I'm intrigued. Yeah, historical. Okay. And then
ding.
Infant communism are the first ones that come into contact with aliens. That's interesting. It's like Superman with Red Sun. It's like, okay, what?
Oh, yeah.
Simple idea, great execution.
Yeah, I want to see that animated film based on it too. I want to see if it's any good. All right, sure. Now that we've gone,
let's move on. We got 21 minutes out of the first question. So for a TV show we've never seen. All right, your turn.
All right, this is from Joe Ibarra. He says, "Hey, as I am writing this, it's the day after the election. Still no winner. So let's talk about something that brings everyone together." Oh, Joe, if you only knew. Star Wars. Yeah, Joe said that on Wednesday, November 4th. So so much has happened, Joe. But he says, let's talk about something that brings everyone together. Star Wars. It's been almost a year since Rise of Skywalker, which is, in my opinion, the worst Star Wars movie. And to me, the worst movie I've ever seen. Whoa. As it insults your intelligence, has way too many plot conveniences, wastes characters, relies too much on nostalgia and fan service, remaking Return of the Jedi, asking even more questions while never answering questions like, who are the Knights of Ren? Why did Kylo turn to the dark side? How did Maz Kanata get Luke's lightsaber? How did Palpatine return with so many fucking Star Destroyers with the Death Star tech? Why would Rey kiss Kylo when he's an evil monster, killed so many people, including Han Solo? Seriously, I could go on. Thanks to the dollar store Spielberg, J.J. Abrams. Jesus. My question is... Woo! By the way, these are Joe Ibarra's words. These are not my words.
Exactly. And this is bringing us together. Continue.
Yeah, exactly. My question is, if you controlled the property of Star Wars, what would be your next move? How long would you wait to release a new movie? Would you still have Ryan do his trilogy? Would you keep Kennedy around? What's your call? Matt?
Okay. Of the actual questions, I'm going to skip around a little bit. Okay. Ryan, no, I would not have him do his trilogy.
Agreed.
Who did Rogue One? Gareth
Edwards.
Gareth Edwards.
Yeah.
If he wanted a trilogy, I think he's done well by it. I mean, I don't think Rise of Skywalker was the worst. I think Last Jedi was of these.
Okay.
I like that Ryan was trying to take chances.
Yeah.
You have to plot him for that. He's flying in the face of convention, hence Luke throwing the saber over his shoulder, but it more muddied the water as opposed to giving him his own thing. But now that I've already seen that, it's just like I'm not much looking forward to whatever your trilogy may or may not be. Kennedy, I have no idea how much of this to blame her on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know what an EP is, but I don't know exactly what it does technically for every movie. Maybe she's more hands-on with one than another, and I don't know how much of a blame should rely with her. So I don't have an answer for that one. What would you do with it though? What would your move be?
Mine?
Yeah.
I think what we've seen already from The Mandalorian with Filoni and Favreau, I think you just put them in charge. I think you move Kathleen Kennedy off of this thing. You make Kevin Feige an unofficial consultant for this, and you have Filoni and Favreau kind of start to formulate what they want to do going forward. Because I think these guys, especially judging from The Mandalorian, look, I get it. It's 2 white dudes, and I get it. People want to say, but sometimes, man, sometimes the right choice is this. I'm not trying to be like anti against anything, but sometimes the right choice bears itself out in a certain way, and you have to ignore color or gender. And it seems to me like with Filoni and Favreau, I think they've found what makes people love Star Wars so much, what made people fall in love with Star Wars. And certainly it's appealing to a whole new generation, again, using the blueprint, essentially, or the vibe or the atmosphere of the original trilogy, but updating it for the 2020s. So for me, I think that's what I would do. I'd move them into a position where they could oversee everything, start to create what they wanted to create, start to explore the stories they wanted to explore. And they're clearly very smart at hiring directors, hiring writers, hiring composers, hiring actors. This season and a half of Mandalorian has been pretty fantastic, and having them in charge of this, and then seeing how Deborah Chow does on Kenobi. If she does well, then make her part of the kind of brain trust.
Yeah.
And put all these people in, and maybe Rick Famuyiwa, who did a great job directing a couple episodes of Mandalorian as well, have him in as a black voice in there as well, who knows about Star Wars. Get a bunch of perspectives in the room and start creating shit. Start coming up with it. Get a writer's room, and then start mapping out the next 10 to 20 years of Star Wars stuff that you want to explore, and keep your finger on the pulse of the people who are up and coming, who are great writers, great directors, great producers, great actors, and start to move them into certain spots that you think feels well. And then you have Feige, as I said, he's part of the Disney situation. So have Feige there as an unofficial advisor, and you can go to him with, hey, these are our ideas, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? And then he can offer his 2 cents. And then go from there. I think that's the move. I think Kathleen Kennedy, look, you can bash Kennedy if you want. People can, I'm sorry, not you specifically, Matt, but people can. But she made $6 billion with this fucking these sequels. So yes, it's not about the money necessarily, but if you're Disney, it fucking is about the money.
Yeah, they still have shareholders.
Exactly. And that they have to answer to. And so to me, I think you give Kennedy a graceful exit. You just give her all kinds of plaudits, and you say how incredible she is, and blah, 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 and let her go off and create what she wants to create for the next step of her career. That way she doesn't have the Star Wars albatross around her neck, because she's been a part of multiple Spielberg franchises. Right, exactly.
Yeah, for so long.
Raiders, all that shit. So let her move on. And, I think you do that. Filoni and Favreau. And then, Ryan, I think you kick Ryan completely off his trilogy. No need to bring him back at all. No. And start to look at Taika Waititi being involved in this. Like,
I was going to say him.
Yeah.
Taika would be great. It's interesting that Favreau then will have helped create in its infancy the Marvel universe, and now could be shepherding the Star Wars. And then he becomes like, that's why you put him in charge. Like, we wouldn't have this idea of a universe, technically speaking, if he hadn't laid the groundwork over there. And then Feige, because I read the other day that Feige, they've shifted their primary focus to streaming platforms for the time being, just because with releases of movies, that shit isn't happening anytime soon. Right. So he will be, I think, nail on the head from you. We're like, we come with the idea, and then Feige puts in his 2 cents and just kind of does this overall vision of but putting in the hands of Favreau and Filoni makes all the sense in the world. If they can do this, and they add to take from the TV successes and then build that out, use that to help fuel the movie.
Yeah. And I don't think there's any rush to put a movie in the pipeline, Matt. I think you focus on these TV series to get people back in love with the franchise again, like they did with Force Awakens. Got people back in love with the franchise again. They pissed it away a little bit with The Last Jedi and with Rise of Skywalker. So people need to be brought back into the fold again. So bring them in with Mandalorian, bring them in with Kenobi, bring them in with the Rogue One series. And they're looking at another series. Well, bring them all in that way. Then you establish confidence with the fan base again, and the people involved in these now get handed movies or are in charge of shepherding these movies, and then you start announcing movies. I think that's how you do it. Take a little bit of a break, let the people forget about the last trilogy for a little bit, and then come back to it when you've really got something solid to announce and something really worked out.
And I would guess now, because of the success from a production side of Mandalorian, if they can make that work for numerous characters, then we could have just about any idea under the sun we want, because they already have the stage built. So long as they can keep the settings to a certain size.
Yep.
But even that, they've shown that that big, huge earthworm thing.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
There's no way they did that on that little stage. So perhaps they brought in CGI for the first time to do that, but it's freeing on some level, because then you could scale it up very easily to a movie too. You intersperse something that you can't do it on that stage, and then shoot the rest on the fucking stage, and you're good to go. It's like this. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about, so my go-to answer is always Darth Vader, because it's come up a few times doing a TV show there. But I also would like to see what they hinted at with Solo at the end of Solo, the Darth Maul, where he's just this underworld figure. So like a Darth Maul Godfather type of thing. I'd be all in on that. They talked about years ago that Coruscant Underworld movie.
Yeah, right.
That TV show would be great.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Apparently, I like all the crime side of it, but those seem like the most fun to me.
That's because we're adults, man.
Well, I just think that you could have a more interesting television show from that.
Yeah.
Because Life and Death is every day Although you can do that with Kenobi, I guess, too.
Right.
Anybody in Star Wars, but yeah, Kenobi. I hope that's good because if it's successful, and Mando is, now we got tons of ideas. Right. Eventually, you can get to the Guardians type of where it's like, all right, this one we got a talking tree, we got a talking raccoon, and the public at large goes, okay,
all right,
you've done so well overall. That's what, yeah. So we'll see because there's only so long that they can keep churning out mediocre product and make $1 billion.
Yeah.
So eventually they have to go the Marvel route, and they've already done it. So they want to get the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll eventually get there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's too many people who are talented, who love Star Wars, like love it in their bones, to not have this franchise survive. And too many people were sad to see it go away for as long as it did between the prequels and now. So I think a lot of people want to get, and between the original trilogy and the prequels. So I think they don't want to have gaps anymore. And and with Disney being in there, there's no way they want gaps either. They want to constantly churn this stuff out. So I think it'll survive way past us, dude. I think for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully, Disney gets their royalty shit right with writers. If you saw that dust up this week.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's $1 billion property.
It's the mouse, man. The mouse is cheap.
I know, but it's so chicken shit. It's it's Bush League is what it is. It's Bush League.
It's fucking Bush League.
It's Bush League. My brother taught my nephew that when he was like 4, and he kept saying Bush League like the whole night. It was the funniest shit. Somebody makes a mistake. That's Bush League. It's like, oh, it is Bush League. To hear a 4-year-old just calling shit Bush League. Oh, dude. I told my brother, it's like, I'm so envious you did that. He'll never remember it, but that's a quality moment I'll carry for the rest of my life.
I want to see him respond to the teacher like that with his grade.
Yeah. But now he's older, so it's not near as cute.
All right.
He has no idea what he's saying at 4.
That's brilliant, man.
Because he called his mom Bush League at one point. He's like, you don't call me Bush League. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm saying. But it was so great.
Ma, what is this? This is Bush League, Ma.
It's Bush League. Well, I walked in and he called me Bush League. You're Bush League, Uncle Matt. And I was like, what? That is great. And my brother's dying laughing over in the corner. I was like, oh, that is so good. I'm glad you did that.
All right. Well, we're at 32 minutes. We should wrap it up here.
Yeah, we should. That's how you do 2 questions in 32 minutes right there.
That's brilliant. Thank you all so much for sending in the questions that you do. Keep sending them in. If you're a patron of the top 10 and you're the $5 and above tier, you can send in your questions. We're kind of running out a little bit, so please start sending them in. Start sending them in. If it's multiple questions, that's fine. Try to keep them 2 or 3, so we're not doing 8 questions for one answer. So, but keep sending them in. Keep asking your questions. Matt and I love answering this stuff, and as you can tell, 2 questions fills a whole show sometimes. So please send them in, and we'll have fun, and always give you love for sending them in as well. So.
If you want to participate in the show, just head over to patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. And it's at the $5 tier and up. And you get this and you get a shout out at the end of the month. And it's our way of saying thank you. We hope you enjoyed today's show. You can follow me anywhere at Matt Nost. And that is it for me this week.
You can follow me at The Rocco Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And hey, if you want to watch us facially do this, if you're listening to us on the podcast feed, go to our YouTube channel. Just type in the top 10 with either my name or Matt's name or both our names, and you'll find us there. And subscribe to the channel. It's monetized now, so we'd love it if you went and gave it some views. Every video, some views. Also, leave comments and leave likes. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you next time on another brand new episode of Topic
Thunder.